Porsche 908/3, the famous Targa Florio car, JW Golf car obviously, and that running down there, very, very successful, built specifically for that race, followed by the Bentley, that glorious Bentley, the big 4-pot engine banging away, famously by Ettore Bugatti, being said that it was the fastest lorry in the world. More Bentleys coming down, more Bentleys than you can shake a stick at. But we have all sorts of lovely cars here. These cars were built for reliability, in particularly the Le Mans 24-hour race. One of the oldest cars here, looking very un-Bentley-like, I have to say. John Fitzpatrick it is who's in that Porsche 908/3. John Fitzpatrick, very much the doyen of sports car racing of the 70s, first as a driver and then as the owner of JFR, John Fitzpatrick Racing. There we have yet more of the Bentley brigade, and they're coming down towards us now is the Brooklyn Special, again a Bentley, but very different because of course Brooklyn's the first purpose-built race circuit in the world, the big banked oval where cars were regularly achieving well over 100 miles an hour. The lap record actually, by the time the circuit closed, was 124 miles an hour. Yet another Bentley Special, and you can see just how streamlined that car is in comparison with the number 9 car we see in front of us now, the Bentley Hassan Special. Again, and now Bentleys from another era entirely, the 2013 Le Mans winning Bentley, and then right up to date with the much more modern GT car, which is proving hugely successful in all forms of GT racing all over the world. A very different sort of take now as we see the Babs Special. Now that was the fastest car in the world. And here we have the Napier Railton. Napier Railton is still the fastest car ever round Brooklands, and that it was actually that car that did the 120 plus mile an hour lap, and a very, very famous photograph was taken because the track began to collapse in its latter years, and there was a huge hole in the road, and that car, all 4 wheels off the ground at well over 100 miles an hour, is really something which is worth seeing. Now we start to get the Bugattis coming through, and as I said, it was Ettore Bugatti who said the Bentley made the fastest lorries in the world. As you see, these Bugattis pass before the Bentleys. That's something very different. Again, coming right up to date there, or relatively right up to date, with the Abarths. But some much more modern machinery, the Alfa Romeo, and the very, very unusual Ford GT40 without the roof. The cars continue to come down for this next batch on Saturday, day 3, here at Goodwood for the Festival of Speed. All sorts of different ages, all sorts of different types of car, and just look at the way that those Bentleys sit in front of us now. They were built, of course, to run on at Le Mans, and that was undoubtedly what they were planned to do. But Le Mans at that period was a dirt road, and let's not forget that these were cinder roads to all intents and purposes, and that therefore, if you look at the front of these cars, they've got stone guards over the headlights, they've got very heavy grills over the front radiator, because quite clearly these were cars which were going to take a tremendous pounding. We talk now about cars getting a pounding from the bits of rubber on the track, but this was, as I say, unmade roads, and that they would absolutely have been in a situation where it would be something completely different. Drivers would have been peppered with stones and grit, and fantastic cars to see. Right down now, the Itala comes towards us now, flying the Italian flag proudly. That's a Peking to Paris car, and now some very, very different machinery. The early low-slung sorts of cars, the Voisin there, and the Sisistala, again from the heyday of post-war motorsport, the Hotchkiss, and you can see the views on streamlining at that time. One of the most beautiful cars in the world, bar none, the 250 short wheelbase Ferrari. Another classic, the BMW M1, and that is a car from the Tour de France Auto, as is this Ferrari 212 Inter. All of these cars ran in the championship at one time or another. The Ferrari there with a bit of a ding in the front, and there is the Beast of Turin, and we all know about the Beast of Turin, made as a land speed record car, has got probably the lowest rev limit of anything here at Goodwood, but nonetheless puttering its way up the roadway to get ready for the start. One of the very early Marlboro sponsorships there from the Porsche, and the Ferrari looking very unlike almost any Ferrari we've ever seen. This is a grid to love, and I think that just looking up it, we've got the evolution of the car pretty much from start to finish.